When the Ride Humboldt app officially launches, it'll be able to send riders from point A to point B. $1 from every cup purchase will go directly to the Meals on Wheels Redwood Coast as part of the company's Give Back Day. Competitors across Western colleges and universities are gathered here for a 3-day logging sports competition. While you won't find sandworms along these dunes, you will find an invasive species known as the yellow lupin.
Tonight, the aftermath of a horrific tornado touching down in Scotts Valley. Winds gusting around 90 miles per hour, whipping up branches and toppling over trees and cars. All injured are expected to be okay. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Scotts Valley police say one person remains hospitalized of the 5 injured after the tornado yesterday. Many people tonight still reflecting on what happened Saturday afternoon when that EF1 tornado touched down on a busy shopping area. That's where we find KION's Sergio Berrueta. He reports tonight on the Scotts Valley tornado 1 day later. Sergio?
Good evening, Max. Many in the community still dealing with the aftermath of this tornado. Tonight we're hearing from them, plus the National Weather Service on why a tornado warning wasn't issued during this horrific event. Mount Herman Road is back open. It's a much different scene from Saturday when the EF1 tornado made landfall in Scotts Valley. Debris and other signs of damage remain in the shopping centers the following day. Joe Staley says he was driving around the shopping center when the tornado reached the ground.
The car in front of me spun around completely, and the car in front of that flipped over onto its roof, and another one flipped on its side. And I realized we were in the middle of something that never happens here.
Another witness helped with the relief efforts on the ground.
Me and my girlfriend, we got out the car and started clearing the roads to get ready for the paramedics to come through. And then just checking in on everybody else that was in the area.
Scotts Valley Police reported that 5 people remain injured, with no fatalities reported. PG&E worked overnight to restore power to some areas while tree removal continued.
If you look around, you still have debris that has to be fixed, and we're just going to take it all in and learn from this experience.
Scotts Valley Police say of those injured, 1 person is still being admitted for continued treatment at a local hospital. Scotts Valley Middle School also facing damage from a large tree having fallen on it. Luckily, no injuries were reported. A former resident visiting from San Francisco was shocked to see it occur.
We got a tornado warning yesterday morning on my phone, and we didn't have a tornado up there, so it was really interesting that it actually hit the community where I grew up and where we were heading for the weekend.
A severe thunderstorm warning was issued by the National Weather Service in Santa Cruz County rather than a tornado warning. I reached out to the National Weather Service asking why a tornado warning wasn't issued in Scotts Valley as conditions grew worse.
We were watching it as closely as we possibly could on radar, so we made the decision to issue a severe thunderstorm warning to cover the wind potential, and so that would translate to wind potential of at least 50 knots or 58 miles per hour or higher, which is potential for damaging winds. So we did have that covered in terms of the potential for damaging winds in that area. It was after that when we started seeing video of actually what was taking place, that was recorded on the ground, that, we learned obviously a lot more about what had happened.
Scotts Valley Police says they're continuing to monitor the recovery of the other people injured during the tornado to ensure their well-being. Reporting in Scotts Valley, I'm Sergio Berrueta, KION News Channel 46. Now back to you.
He's not pointing it at anybody.
Pointing it straight up.
It was a scary sight for many in this quiet Carmel neighborhood Friday morning. This video, shot by Stephen Moyer, showed 27-year-old James Marshall walking down the street with an AK-style rifle along 8th and Monteverde streets. The incident turning a simple work morning into a tense moment in time as he walked near the Golden Bough Playhouse.
Apparently he doubled back because we turned around and he was coming back up our driveway. And so we all backed away from him, kept our eye contact, but backed away. Went to our doors, got everybody inside, and he looked at us and he said, "No filming."
Moore is the executive director of the Playhouse and described what he experienced with his theater team.
My IT manager came in and said there's a man with a gun out in the streets. He and I immediately closed all the doors and called in all the workers and made sure everybody was in. And went from top to bottom and just told everybody this is not a drill. There's somebody with a gun outside. Please stop work.
After being hit with beanbags, Marshall went back inside the home before things took another turn.
The officers did continue a dialogue with this individual, attempting to get him to surrender to their request to provide assistance, and he continued to disobey the commands that were being given to him. Unfortunately, as they retreated back into the property, this incident did escalate into an officer-involved shooting.
Marshall was taken to the hospital, where he later died. With an incident unexpected such as this, Moyer explained how different it is to experience it as opposed to preparing for it.
We have, employee manuals and things that address it, but, nothing like when you're actually there. There were a lot of people here on site. They weren't seeing a show, but they were all working on the project. And so thinking about it is really hard. There's a lot of people here. It could have been bad.
Outside of our newsroom here on Humboldt Hill, student journalists had first-hand coverage of the Cal Poly protest and occupation. From the radio waves to headlines and across social media, the Humboldt journalism students made sure to get the word out to viewers and readers alike. On the radio, KION Zanika, station manager of KRFH, covered the protests live on air and into the early hours of Tuesday as the occupation ramped up.
Honestly, I feel really proud of all the work that we've done this week. We put in a lot of hours, and this was very new to KRFH, and I'm just very proud of my team, the work that we did do, the dedication, the commitment.
Those at KRFH wore press helmets and vests as they continue to report on the ever-changing situation. Because of the live nature of the reporting, the community also played a part in the news.
Honestly, like the people sending in updates, they were a part of the efforts to making sure that we're staying updated and getting factual, accurate information. Overall, we were also getting emails, DMs, people calling in saying, thank you for providing this coverage, and even asking if there's anything that they can do to help.
For the team at El Linador, the news of the police coming to campus hit after taking a class photo.
We got the email about Siemens Hall being closed, and we just decided to go check it out with some cameras and see what was up, and to watch it all unfold like that with police from all over the county showing up in different riot gear, and it felt unprecedented. It felt surreal to watch it unfold. El
Linador is the only bilingual newspaper in the county. Journalists were able to deliver updates in Spanish as it happened.
I remember being on live and there was lots of people in Spanish, what's going on. I just know that there's so many family members at home who are watching this through media, and they're seeing just pure violence and not actually getting media from the source and the ground. Us being able to give that information kind of gave them a little bit.
There's not only a growing Spanish-speaking population here at Humboldt, but as well as a large community of Spanish-speaking students on campus. Many of their parents can't read the emails sent in English, so I think it was really important for our news to not only translate them, but give updates in Spanish.
Along with them was the weekly college paper, The Lumberjack, with one of our reporters pulling double for Redwood News.
Our plan was to stay out of the action, but still capture the action. Mark McKenna, one of our instructors, was telling us, he said, stay 10 arms lengths away from what's going down. So we all had zoom lenses. We all were able to stay in a safe position, but still be able to cover what was happening.
Part of that safety plan was covering the protest with a buddy. Savannah's buddy was the editor-in-chief of The Lumberjack.
We're a pretty small staff. The Arcata High Pepper Box has a way bigger staff than we do, so we were trying to cover a lot of ground with not a lot of people. So definitely kind of making sure that we have all of our grounds covered. We learned a lot about, reporting boots to the ground.
And their coverage will be something to take with them into the next phase of their careers.
I never saw myself as a radio news reporter, and now after this experience, I'm like, I am a radio news reporter. I felt so much that I was doing what I was meant to be doing, and I was so involved with the community. And again, I love the community so much. So if just finding my purpose and place here in the community has been very fulfilling.
In Arcata, I'm Sergio Berrueta for Redwood News.